so I decided to turn on the camera, go live, see how you guys are doing, and I'm probably going to show you guys how I do my blueberry pancakes. That might be one of the things that I'm going to cook right now. So just give me a moment. I'll let you guys come into the room, and I'll get myself situated. I'm also going to heat up something for myself to eat. Make sure there's nothing in the oven. So this is some food I got last night from one of my favorite local spots. Got myself a boneless chicken roti. So I'm going to heat this up for myself while I prepare some food for my daughter. I'm going to rinse this pan off. So this is one of my favorite pans. It allows me to cook multiple things at the same time. And again, I'm going to do some pancakes. Pretty sure. Yes, I'll do blueberry pancakes for my daughter. And I'm also going to do some sausage. And I think that'll be it. Sorry guys, I'm looking for my sausage. Here we go. Okay, so my daughter also wants blueberry pancakes specifically. So I have frozen blueberries here, and I'm going to show you guys what I do when I make my blueberry pancakes. Now I buy the frozen blueberries because obviously I can toss them in the freezer and they'll last me longer instead of having blueberries, fresh blueberries in the fridge that go bad. Or you can buy fresh blueberries if you prefer and then just freeze them. So either way, they're going to end up in the freezer. And so before you prepare your pancake batter, you want to take some of the blueberries, however much you're going to need, and just put them in a sandwich bag. You don't want to add the frozen blueberries to your batter because as the pancakes are cooking, those frozen blueberries, the batter that's surrounding the frozen blueberries won't cook. So you'll have partially cooked pancakes, and then around your blueberries, it'll be raw. So you take however much blueberries you think you're going to need. I'm not making a lot of pancakes, so I just have a small amount here. Put them in a sandwich bag, and then we're going to get some warm water. have my water heating up. I'm going to use this measuring cup for my pancake batter. I'm going to use this measuring cup to sit my blueberries in. I'm just going to sit the sandwich bag in here. I'm going to fill this with the warm water so that it can thaw the blueberries. Cold out here up north, so my water is still cold. I'm just going to let the water heat up, and while it's heating up, I'm going to pull out my ingredients for the pancake batter. So we have our syrup. I buy this pancake batter, the one that's complete, so really you don't have to add anything except water. However, I'm not going to add just water. So here's the pancake batter, syrup. We miss Aunt Jemima. I'll just throw that out there. And then I have cinnamon, and I actually blend the cinnamon with a little bit of sugar, so there's actually cinnamon and sugar in here. Hi everybody, thank you for hopping on. So we're going to do some blueberry pancakes really quick, and some sausage. So my water should be hot now. I'm going to go ahead and add some hot water to this measuring cup. And remember, we have our frozen blueberries in a sandwich bag, and we're going to thaw them. Okay, so it took a second to get the water warm. So I didn't put super hot water. So let's say warm-ish on the hot side, but not too hot. I'm not trying to cook the blueberries, but I do want them to thaw quickly because we're not going to be in here long. So we will get our sausage started. I'm going to put the sausage on the back part of the pan. So I'm just going to heat that burner. And we'll get our sausage in the pan, and then we can start on our pancake batter. And this is beef kielbasa sausage. I'm just going to take a small portion because I'm only cooking for one person. So I just cut the sausage and then I cut it in half. And then I'm going to make some slices on the back side. And we're going to put the sausage down with the inner part facing the pan. I'm going to get a sandwich bag to put this in. And we're going to move right along to our pancake batter. Right. Okay, so again, I'm only making pancakes for one. So I'm just going to put what I think I need in here. I'm not actually measuring. I just use a measuring cup because it's just an easy thing to use to pour my batter into the pan. So we have our pancake batter. Not much in here, just a little bit. I may add a tiny bit more. I don't want to make too many pancakes and have them go to waste. So now I'm going to put my pancake batter, my pancake mix away because we clean as we go. Now I'm also going to take my syrup and add that to the mix. And then I take my cinnamon sugar and I'm going to add that. Take a little bit of salt. I'm going to put the salt right in the palm of my hand. And then just put a little bit. Right there. So this extra salt in my hand, I'm just going to throw it away. And now I have to move you guys for a moment so I can get in this cabinet. Actually, the next cabinet. Hold on. I'm gonna grab my powdered sugar. If I had vanilla, I'd add just a very small splash of vanilla, but I don't have any. Add a little bit of powdered sugar here. I would normally also add an egg if I was making a bigger batch of pancake mix or pancake batter. But I don't need the egg. And remember, we're using the complete pancake mix, so technically everything you need is already in here. You're just supposed to add water. I'm just extra, so I add a bunch of other stuff. And I'm just checking the comments here. Hi, everybody. Thank you again for hopping on. So we have, again, our pancake mix, some cinnamon sugar mixture. More cinnamon than sugar in that container. We have a tiny dash of salt, some syrup, and our powdered sugar. And now I'm going to add milk. And in the meantime, our blueberries are here still soaking in the warm water. I'm looking for my whisk. Hold on a second. Okay. Now we don't need much milk, just a small amount. We'll probably add as we go. Go ahead and give this a good mix. Pretty sure I just added too much milk, but let's see. Okay, this batter is slightly thinner than I want it, so I'm going to add a little bit more batter. Nothing that we can't correct. I said I'm going to add a little more batter. I mean a little bit more pancake mix to the batter. As you can see, I just eyeball all of the ingredients. I don't measure anything. I'm going to warm up this side of my pan. I could make this batter just a tad bit thicker, but I'll leave it as it is. Still going to cook up nicely. This away. So because I add the syrup to the batter, you don't actually have to put syrup on your pancakes. So for those of you who have small children, if you're a parent watching, or if you make pancakes for your siblings or whatever, or even for yourself, you do not have to add syrup to the pancakes. I add them to the batter, add it to the batter, and if you want to add extra, you can. If you have small kids, this is a good way to keep their hands nice and clean, keep their eating space nice and clean. I started adding syrup to the batter when my kids were little as a way to keep them from making a big mess, and it just stuck. And if anybody wants extra, they just add extra. So now I'm just checking the blueberries. So remember, we have our frozen blueberries in a sandwich bag. We put that sandwich bag in some warm water to thaw the blueberries, because you do not want to put the frozen blueberries into your batter. As the pancakes are cooking, the frozen blueberries will freeze the batter that's closest to them, and your pancake, it won't cook properly. So I still have some that are a little bit frozen in the middle, so I'm just rearranging them in the bag and making sure that I get them all thawed out so that I can add them to my batter. Alright, in the meantime, my pan is heating up on this side. Grabbing a plate because it's not going to take us long. And I'm cleaning up my workspace. Remember, we clean as we go so that when we're done cooking, you don't have a lot of mess to worry about cleaning. I'm going to get some butter for the pancakes. Side of the pan is nice and hot. I don't want it to be too hot. We don't want to burn the pancakes, and we also don't want to burn the butter. Let's check our blueberries. Okay. So now we're going to add our blueberries to our pancake batter. Just pour them right in. Now the blueberry is also going to have some liquid with it, which is also part of the reason why I would have made a slightly thicker batter, but it's okay. The pancake batter is going to be fine. I just prefer mine to be thicker. So once we mix in these blueberries with the juices, it'll thin things out just slightly. And you can kind of you can stir the blueberries if you want your batter to just turn purple. You can fold it if you still want to kind of have some of that pancake batter color, and then you'll have the color of the blueberry and your blueberry chunks in there. I hope that makes sense. So now I'm going to add my butter to the pan. Now normally I would also add a very small drop of oil to ensure that I get crispy edges around my pancakes, but I don't have any oil. I literally have an empty bottle sitting here. You mix the butter and the oil together. The butter will give you that nice buttery flavor, and just a tiny bit of oil will help to crisp up those edges of the pancake. You get a perfect pancake that way. So now I'm going to go ahead and drop my pancake batter into the pan. I'm going to turn down the back of the pan where my sausage is. It's starting to smoke a little bit. And I'll flip the sausage. And I have my pancakes on medium. Sausage is pretty much done. I'll take that out in a moment. I'm going to continue cleaning as I cook, so I'm going to move this over to the sink. And this. this pot. I'm going to actually turn this side of the pan down just a little bit. Now, literally, the food is pretty much done. It's not going to take long for this side of the pancakes to cook. And I'm going to turn off this back part of the pan. I'm going to take the sausage out. Put that over here on the plate. And you can see this side of the sausage. So we have it browned on both sides. And then these pancakes will be done. And I'm literally only making breakfast for one person. And I'm pretty sure she's not going to eat all these pancakes. I'm just going to tip the pan so that this oil can kind of travel to the other side. My butter is kind of pooling right here. And when I flip the pancake, because it's thick, there's some batter right here that's not all the way cooked. So I'm going to flip this pancake again to make sure I cook this edge on this top side now. Just make sure our pancakes are not burned. Make sure they're nice and golden. And because we have the blueberries in the middle, you just want to make sure that all the batter surrounding the blueberries is also cooked all the way through. I'll just let them sit for just a few more seconds. And then we will plate them and the brunch will be ready. We have it. Blueberry pancakes, sausage, and they're really hot, but I'm going to open one for you just so you can see what it looks like. I'll just break it in half. Blueberry pancake. Fluffy. Crispy on the outside, crispy edges, soft on the inside. And we're all set. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Have a blessed day. Have a great week. Pancakes and sausage. See you later.